Okay, so can you guys hear me okay? Let me know in the chat. I had no idea that mic was not working for 2 whole minutes. Let me know if everything's working alright, if you can hear me. Hopefully it should be fine now. I'm sorry about that. That was like 2 whole minutes. Okay, you guys can hear me? Okay, hopefully it is working now. Okay, so sorry about that. We've got everything fixed now. No one was saying that in chat, so I had no idea that was happening. But so this stream is celebrating 8K subscribers. We were literally just at 7,000 like 2.5 weeks ago, which is like absolutely crazy. I'm so thankful for all of you guys. I literally never thought I would have gotten here. This stream was going to be a 7K stream because I was on a trip and I was going to do it like a little bit after I came back. And today, the day of the stream I was supposed to do, we got 8,000. So it's now an 8,000 subscriber stream, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, there's kind of some annoying background noise. I'll try and get as far away from it as possible. There's not much I can really do. It's just the sound of the computer. Alright, so glad everyone can hear me okay. That was pretty awkward. So someone asked about my OC. For my OC Mala, I had my friend draw her as a custom where I told her what I wanted the design to be, and then she drew her, and that's the mascot of my channel. But for my main Wings of Fire OC, Mirage, I designed him in Wings of Fire Roblox, and I've fallen in love with the design since. I've gotten our F made, so. Basically, this is just a Q&A stream. I was hoping to hop on a Wings of Fire Roblox, but I don't think that's going to work out. But I do plan on going and doing some more hangout sessions with you guys. Keep an eye on my community tab if you're ever interested in that. Sometimes I do hang out with you guys, which is always really fun, and you seem to like that. Yes, Bursting Rainbows made Mala. So for now, this is just going to be kind of like a hangout stream. I always like talking to you guys. You can ask questions. They can be about Wings of Fire or the most random things in the world. Be sure to obey the rules in the description and all the information there for all the art credits and stuff. Alright, here's a shout out to Cheetah. I don't give shout outs, but Cheetah's cool. Cheetah's one of my friends. Great insightful words of wisdom for the person who typed the spammed keyboard. Who is better, Rainy or Rainy? Gotta go with Rainy on this one. We do have a poll going right now that has 81 votes between pizza and mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is my personal favorite. I mean, I couldn't say no to either of them. I love both, but we'll see what you guys think by the end of the stream. I think mac and cheese doesn't stand much of a chance, but it's still fun to see how this goes. Annabella asks, waffles or pancakes? Eggo waffles. I love Eggo waffles. Like, thing is that why waffles are superior, I don't like them crunchy, I only like them soft. Well, a little bit of crispiness is nice. But with waffles, they have, like, built-in syrup holders. Like, why does no one talk about that? With pancakes, like, it's just gonna fall off the sides, everything's gonna be gross, it's just gonna absorb the syrup. Like, nah, you don't get that with waffles. You get superior stuff with waffles. If you could bring one Wings of Fire character back from the dead, who would you pick? Ooh, Sheridan, that's a good question. There are a lot of characters that have died. I feel like Kestrel, maybe to, like, give her a second chance, you know? I do really feel bad for her. I would love to see her family all reunited and living a happy life. So I'd probably go with Kestrel on that one. That is a really interesting question. Pizza Soyama, sorry if I butcher anyone's names. What's your favorite Stranger Things character? I love Steve, Eleven, Max, and Dustin. Those are my top 4. I also love Will. I think, yeah, that would be my top 5, really. Crab the Seeming asks, who's your favorite Wings of Fire character? Definitely Peril. I love Peril, Bumblebee, Snowfall, and Turtle. Those are like my all-time favorites. I will do anything for those characters. Gojulia asks, who is the best Nightwing? That's a tough question, actually. I really like Moonwatcher, but like only in her book. After her book, she kind of gets ruined as a character, but I do really enjoy Moonwatcher. I mean, there are a lot of good Nightwings. Clearsight's good also. I don't know if I can necessarily pick a favorite for each tribe. Yes, we must protect Bumblebee at all costs. She is the character with like some of the best quotes. Same with Peril. Annabella also asks, who's the best fake prophecy dragonette? I really enjoyed Squid. It was like 2 in the morning when I was reading the Dark Secret and Morosky sent him away, and I legitimately started crying. I'm pretty embarrassed about that fact, but I still stand by that. He's my favorite. I mean, I like all of them, except for Ochre. I don't think anyone likes Ochre. Like, all the other ones are, like, okay, but not really Ochre. Oh yeah, Fierce Teeth is a good Nightwing. I really like her, especially in her winglet. Milky Way Blue Jay asks, what's your favorite tribe? The Sandwings. I love their customs, their traditions, their lifestyle, their designs, just their abilities, everything. Literally everything I love about the Sandwings. I honestly want to hear more about them. I want to learn more about what it's like to be a Sandwing. And also, I want to learn more of what it's like to be a regular Icewing. Because if you think about it, the only Icewing protagonists and POVs we've had are royalty. Only main book POVs are royalty. A Winter's a prince and Snowfall's the queen. So I'm really interested to see what life would be like not living in the castle. Literally the only Icewing characters we've seen are ones that live in the castle and have some kind of ranking. Wouldn't it be nice to just see like what life would be like? You know, it's just a regular Icewing, like that's not part of the whole hierarchy system and just kind of doesn't do well, I guess. I mean, there are some guards that live in the outskirts, but like just living in a normal Icewing village, wouldn't that be like so cool? That'd be awesome. Keebly Winterstar asks, who's your favorite Sandwing? Keebly. I think everyone loves Keebly, like at this point. Unless you're a huge Winter fan that doesn't like Keebly, but he's my favorite. I know that's a pretty stereotypical answer, but gotta go with Keebly on that one. Harp's Dragon asks, what's the character you hate the most? Probably Cottonmouth. I'm not a Cottonmouth fan. He was pretty annoying, and I don't like what he did to the dragons. That was pretty dumb. But I don't like Cottonmouth or Riptide or really anyone that like, and Whirlpool obviously. Okay, Whirlpool and Cottonmouth are just the ones I do not like at all. Yes, me and Jade Mount Archive, we both love Keebly. Although I'm quite not as obsessed as he is. My obsession would be Peril, Bumblebee, Snowfall, and Turtle. Turtle especially, although Peril is my favorite. Turtle is just like so cool. I don't know, I just relate to him so much. Like, he's scared of things. He hates exercise. He wants to be a writer. Like, I just relate to Turtle in like every way possible that I've never related to a character the way before. Burst of Rainbows asks, who is the best queen of all time? The best ruler? That's really hard. There have been a lot of good ones, and there have been a lot of bad ones. That's really hard. I mean, I think Ruby cares for her kingdom a lot, and so do Thorn and Glacier. So, I think Sequoia. I think Sequoia might be the best queen, even though she did kind of encourage some vengeful habits, but I think, no, she's the leader of the Saplings, right? Not the Poison Wings. So I think maybe Sequoia, just because she had a huge brave spirit for her tribe, taught them to fight back. Yeah, easiest difficulty, Whirlpool must die. I think we can all agree on that. Out of everyone, he's probably the worst. Which of the Sandwing Queens would you choose if Thorn wasn't an option? Blaze, if the other Sandwing sisters were out of the equation. Like, if they were dead, then Blaze, because someone better could come along later and actually get the throne in a peaceful way. But I would just want, like, the war to end right then and there. But if Blister and Burn were still alive, then they would probably kill her and get the throne instead. Out of those two, maybe just Blister for the fact, even though she'd be like a dictator, she wouldn't be necessarily cruel and drag the war on. Like Starflight said, if Burn won, she would have just dragged the war on for fun, and that would have not been a good outcome. Harp's Dragon asks, who's your favorite scavenger? My favorite scavenger? I know a lot of people don't like Leaf in Dragon Slayer, but I think as the book goes on, I started to like him a little more. Ren, I will say this right here, she's overrated. She's not as good as people remember. But I didn't really like... I mean, she's okay. I liked her story a little bit, just because there was a dragon in it, even if it wasn't a dragon I necessarily cared for. But, there are a lot of good ones. I like Exolotl, Leaf I did like as the book went on, I will admit that. That actually had me opening up the one part of the book, I can't remember which one it is, where Clay grabs Leaf and takes him to safety. I actually did reread that scene because that happened in Dragon Slayer. Animus Wing asks, what's your opinion on animus power? Well, I assume you like that because it's in your name. But I don't know if I trust myself with animus magic. I mean, it'd be great, but like, how do you know it's not going to corrupt you? Because anyone can be corrupted by power and wealth and influence. So I think it's a good power, but I don't think anyone deserves it. Like, not even the best dragons in all of Pyra deserve endless magic, because anyone can do bad with it. So Ryan, the Not Toy Review, asks, who's your favorite pet like Smolder and Rose or Glory and Silver? My favorite pet? I like Dinner the Fox. Dinner is pretty cool, even though we only got to see him briefly. Silver, probably, just because of his relationship with Glory. He's an adorable pet. I love Silver. Their relationship is very wholesome. Oh, Foxglove! Sorry, your name reminded me that Foxglove is one of my favorite scavengers. She's so underrated in Dragonslayer. No one talks about Foxglove. I literally loved her. Her scenes looking at dragons with Ivy were probably my favorite scenes in the book, to be honest. Firefly asked, who's your favorite Arc 3 main protagonist? Snowfall. I can rant about the dangerous gift and we'd be here for hours. I know a lot of people think it's filler, but I really, really liked it. 4Arcane has just made a video about the dangerous gift, and I've not been able to watch it yet, but I'm definitely going to watch it right after the stream. Bertram has asked, would the whole Wings of Fire storyline be better off without animus magic? That's a really interesting, insightful question. I think, well, it'd be more peaceful because there'd be less power-hungry dragons like Scorpion trying to get Jerboa's power, and Darkstalker would never be evil. But actually, no, Darkstalker wouldn't even be born, which I guess would be a good thing? I don't know. I'll have to come back. That's a great topic for a video. I might come back and cover that. And give it a whole analysis, whole time to shine. Because that's really interesting. I'll have to think about that. Definitely ponder on that for a little while longer. Nightflower asked, your favorite villain and your least favorite villain. Least favorite villain was probably Whirlpool or Hawthorne. And my favorite villain, hands down, has to be Scarlet. Literally, she's just maniacal and just mean to be mean. But, like, I just love it. Normally, I don't like villains like that. But Scarlet just takes the cake. Like, she's just the best villain in the whole series. I know a lot of people think that goes to Darkstalker, but honestly, any scene that Scarlet was in, I really, really enjoyed. If you were given animus magic but only do one spell, what would you do? Maybe a spell that would just... Well, okay, you know what? Eternal world peace. No, that would be... Well, I can only do one thing. Maybe, like, food for everyone. No one would ever starve again. That would be something good. But if I would do something for myself, like, not for the whole world, then maybe a spell that would, like, turn me invisible. I had a dream about this one time, that I had animus magic, and I was so sad when I woke up. In the dream, basically, I was at school, and I enchanted my backpack. So whenever I wore my backpack, what it would do is it would make me invisible, but no one would ever be suspicious. Like, it'd just be like I was there in the background, but, like, no one really paid attention. Like, so to them, I was all there, even though I wasn't, but never did anything of significance, and they would never be suspicious. And I loved that, because I could just do whatever I wanted. I never had to be anywhere. That'd just be a really free life. So if I did something for myself but something for the whole world to benefit everyone with one spell, then something like either no death or... Well, no death would be actually pretty bad, because then there'd be no food to supply everybody forever, and the world population would keep growing. So I would just go with food and water for everyone, if that counts as one thing. Just basic necessities. That would be a good version of spell. Just basic necessities. It's technically one wish. First Rainbows asked, what villain would you choose to haunt your nightmares? Broken Heart Face. To haunt my nightmares? Darkstalker would be pretty scary. I don't know if I can pick one that's, like, not as bad? That's a weird question. I can't really think of anyone. Yeah, I'll have to come back to that. I've never thought about Wings of Fire villains haunting my dreams, like Scarlet haunting icicles, but very interesting question, I guess. West City Plays asks, who's your favorite character in the Jade Winglet? In the Jade Winglet, I like Keebly, I guess. Keebly and Moon are really good. I mean, I really liked everyone in the Jade Winglet. I don't think there's a single character I didn't like. Obviously, they gave us the best lineup, because that was the protagonists. Most of them were the protagonists of Arc 2. Awful Cat asks, question, lineless or lined art? I'm going to go with lined art. I can see beauty in lineless sometimes, but depending on the artist, I'm usually going to opt for lined art. Although, well, my art sometimes looks better lineless, but when I'm looking at other people's, I usually prefer ones. It depends, though. It really depends. Let's see. Getting on top of Wings of Fire. Do you watch anime? I've only watched one anime in my life, and that's a brand new animal. It's on Netflix. It's a great anime. I absolutely loved it. I would recommend that to anyone here who likes anime and is looking for something to watch. But I'm not a normal anime watcher. It doesn't really interest me that much. Foxglove asks, who do you think is stronger, the Breath of Evil or Darkstalker at his worst? Man, I mean, it depends who's in charge of the Breath of Evil, because Cottonmouth would still have a hand on it. I guess Darkstalker at his worst, because he'd be doing the worst possible thing rather than trying to help people. But even when he does try and help people, he ends up doing the wrong thing. So maybe Darkstalker at his worst, just because he can do more than the Breath of Evil can. He could literally control everyone's minds if he wanted to. So yeah, Darkstalker at his worst. I think that's pretty easy. It has not snowed yet. It's only November. It's late November, so. Oh, Floof Dragon. Okay, so I'll answer this for everyone. Keebly is pronounced differently depending on where you live, but Tui pronounces it Keebly. In America, basically United States and Canada, they pronounce it Keebly, but it can be pronounced Kibly in English accents. So, depending on where you are, that's how you pronounce it. But Tui pronounces it Keebly, so I'm going with Keebly. Ryan the Nut Tover also asks, what do you consider Smolder a villain or a dragon who couldn't think for himself thanks to Burn? Really good question. Smolder's a really interesting character because I don't know what to think of him. I really liked him and I was heartbroken when he betrayed Sunny, but I also understand why he did it. But if I were him, I still wouldn't have, to be honest. Saving a dragon like that and Thorn on your side. I'm not sure exactly what to think of Smolder. That'd be a good video on its own. Because he's a very complex character with several different sides to him. I really think Burn had a huge influence as well. Mr. Drago asks, pineapple on pizza. I've had it, and I can personally say it's not for me, but I can understand why anyone might like it. But pizza, like pineapple on pizza, just fruit in general, as a whole, it sounds wrong. It sounds wrong, but I won't harass you if you like pineapple on pizza. I don't really see why it's some big issue. Favorite ship, Eli's Fun Page asks. Moonbly. Moonwatcher and Keebly, I honestly love them so much. I think they're the cutest and the most healthy couple. Because it seems like every other couple has some kind of issue. But Moonbly doesn't really have anything besides the whole love triangle that ends up getting solved. So I'm going to have to go with Moonbly. Vera asks, who's your least favorite good guy? My least favorite good guy? Protagonist or maybe Riptide. He's a good guy, but I just don't really care for him much. If I'm interpreting your question right. Sunny Wings of Fire asks, which era would you rather live in? Darkstalker or present time? Darkstalker era would be so cool if you were at the Nightwing Academy without Darkstalker's whole reign of terror. If Darkstalker was not a part of the equation, going to the Nightwing, living in the Nightwing Kingdom and going to school there with all your powers. I just love that atmosphere. It kind of reminds me of the Marauders, Harry Potter, these two different time periods where things were a lot freer, a lot more interesting. But present day would be nice because of the peace, but I'm actually going to have to go with Darkstalker's day as long as Darkstalker and Foe Slayer and Arctic don't exist. In Albatross. All of that, with those removed, Darkstalker's Day just for the whole atmosphere. I love that time period so much. We need more stories that take place then. Emily D asks, what's your favorite Wings of Fire OC if you have one? I have a couple. One is being worked on the design right now for design trade. Well, I really like what I have in mind for her. But Mirage, probably. He has the most interesting story, and I might write about him someday, but I use him a lot. I have a couple. I have Mirage, his future wife Magnolia, who's a Rainwing, Mirage the Sandwing, and Dragonfly the Hivewing, and Cataclysm the Mudwing, who I've been working on, just kind of on and off. Harps Dragon asks, do you like Auklet? Auklet's pretty cool. I like Auklet. A lot of people, I've seen some people think she's pretty annoying, but I don't really see it. I think she's actually kind of cute. I like all of the very young Dragonettes, except for Cliff. Cliff's just okay, but the rest I all do really like, besides, Peacemaker. What's your favorite cat breed? I don't know, cat breeds. I do like, Sphinx cats, though. The hairless cats, and I like just any cat, really. I don't know the difference. I do know a lot of dog breeds, but not really any cat breeds. I like all of them, really. Let's see. What do you think humanized Wings of Fire characters would look like? I've seen some people draw their own renditions of humanized Wings of Fire characters, but it's a pretty interesting topic. I'm not sure exactly what they would all look like. It would be pretty fun to draw someday. If you could add one fan tribe Wings of Fire, what would you add? You like the idea of mind wings. I've seen a lot of people talk about like jewel wings, which would be pretty cool. Dragons that are based on different kinds of jewels and gemstones and rare ores. That would be pretty cool. I do have a fan tribe of my own called the Storm Wings. I've kind of stopped production on them, but I plan on getting back into it, where they use different things like hurricanes, tornadoes, whirlwinds, different kinds of storms and lightning as their powers. And they're so isolated from Pyre and Pantala because they live up in the clouds, so. Shay Tucker asks, what's one thing you hate the most about Queen Coral? Her overprotectiveness and her naiveness. She is very naive and just listens to anyone if they praise her. Happened with both Whirlpool and Blister. Goji Leo asks, what do you hate about Wings of Fire? I don't know if there's necessarily anything I hate, besides just like things not being expanded on as much as they should have. I've talked about this a little bit before with the Poison Jungle, how I really didn't like how the Leaf Wings weren't expanded upon, and their whole hatred of the Hive Wings was just kind of like there, but not as prominent as it should have been. A lot of wasted opportunities. I think that's what I don't like the most Wings of Fire, is a lot of wasted opportunities. More than I've seen in like really any other series, but it is a long set of books, so I can really understand why a lot of things kind of go unnoticed, or there's not enough time to expand on them because the story's rapidly changing. If Blue didn't get captured, what would you think would happen? By the Hive Wings I don't even remember that part of the story. I do remember him getting captured, like, vaguely. Wasn't that when, like, Luna got taken away? Arc 3 is, like, the least in my mind. Like, I remember Arc 3 the least. I'm not necessarily sure what would happen. I mean, they'd have him as an ally, I suppose, but what would he even really bring? And Luna wouldn't be as willing to go to the hives and save everyone, besides, like, saving Swordtail, but her brother wouldn't be there, too, so I guess that's less of a motive. Who do you think is a better friend if they were your friend? Kinkajou, Lynx, or Listener? I like Listener, but she would not be a great friend because she's a little bit of a gossiper and she's a little bit judgy. Kinkajou would be a little bit too annoying. I don't like small children, so gotta be Lynx, like 100%. If I could bring any Wings of Fire dragon to life, Lynx would be high on the list because she's just funny, she's nice. I just love Lynx to death. She's the best, easily the best side character in all of Wings of Fire, and people love her, so it'd be nice to know Lynx in real life. What is your least favorite Wings of Fire death? By Hee 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 Ha. I like your username. My favorite death? There's I can't really say a lot without spoilers for people that haven't finished Wings of Fire. So that's pretty hard. There have been a lot of ones that are pretty heartbreaking. There is one that got me to tear up a little bit, I will admit, even though I didn't like the book itself. Pause or mute the video for like 10 seconds if you have not read The Flames of Hope. Okay, so Freedom's death actually did get me to tear up. I won't dwell on this for too long. I could probably make a video on it, honestly. Even though I didn't like the book itself, that death really kind of did get to me, even though I didn't necessarily like the character all that much. Livy Animations asks, how do you feel about Orca? Orca's an interesting character because we don't know a lot about her, and she's like perfect winglet material. I've been meaning to write about her for a video, honestly, to like my own kind of winglet about her, since we haven't gotten any more. But she's such a really fascinating character, and I'm really intrigued by her, and I hope we get more. Because her motives were a little bit, we don't really get to see her motives, just besides the fact that no one really liked her. So Orca has a lot of potential. That's my thoughts on her, and I'm really intrigued, and I'd love to see more. What is the most heartfelt, sweetest moment in Wings of Fire? First Rainbows asks. There are a lot of moments that just made me smile, but really anything with Turtle and Peril just being like so supportive and sweet to each other, I loved. Any turtle scene, okay? Literally any single turtle scene in the whole book series just made me smile. In Arc 2 especially. So I loved seeing Turtle help out Moon after the cave explosion. That was really, really sweet. It was such a nice break from the hectic story and all the stress going on to know that someone really did care about her at the academy, which I really appreciated. And just Turtle being so supportive of Peril and treating her like he would any other dragon, those moments made me smile. They really did. I have a huge appreciation for Turtle and his kindness. Oh, also the scene where Turtle interacts with Coral again. Oh, I loved that. That was so adorable. I hope it really was genuine. I know, that friendship was amazing. Most epic question. Okay. Whiteout or Tamarin? Whiteout. Whiteout is literally amazing. I need more of Whiteout. I'm begging for it. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Chameleon times Kestrel? Well, they never really had feelings for each other, I guess, because it was... Don't the Skywings do some... Yeah, I think they mentioned that, where they never really interacted. They just had the eggs, and then Chameleon took off in his Sora form. So they never really had a relationship with each other. So I'm not sure if it's necessarily something to ship. Just like some Mudwing couples. They just mate, and then that's pretty much it, so... Hello, Candy! Everyone welcome Candy to the chat. She's a W human. Which Hogwarts house would Kinkajou be in? Hufflepuff. 100%. Will she be like a Griffin Puff? Like a mix of Gryffindor and Hufflepuff. But I've ultimately got to go with Hufflepuff just by her overall personality. She has some brave and fierce aspects to her, but definitely Hufflepuff if I had to pick just one house. Thoughts on Snowfall times Sky? I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I do not like this ship. I don't see any chemistry. I think it's very odd. It's quite odd for a ship. They only interacted like once, and that was really it. So I personally don't see it, but you guys can ship whatever you want. What do you predict for the future, Crystal Cat asks? For the future of Wings of Fire? I don't know exactly what I predict per se, but I do know what I would want. I want more winglets, like 100% more winglets. What's your favorite animal? Milky Way Blue Jay asks. My favorite animals are dogs, dragons, and foxes. Of course dragons are going to be on this list. I mean, I'm a Wings of Fire YouTuber. Of course I love dragons. Who's the best dragon? In the series? Peril. I just love everything going on with her, from her backstory to her personality, the iconic quotes, and just her internal struggles and growing as a dragon I really loved. Let's see. What's your favorite drink? I like water, milk, and fruit punch, especially sugar-free fruit punch. Or diet fruit punch. Diet fruit punch is really good. But I really like water and milk. Nothing can really beat those. I'm not a soda drinker, or really juice. I do like apple juice, but I can't stand orange juice or grape juice or really anything. I'm not an exotic drinker. Have you ever heard of Foxcraft? I have. I've never played it, but I do know what Foxcraft is, if I remember correctly. It does seem like a pretty interesting game. I may check it out someday, if it is still up. Do you like African wild dogs? Yes, they're adorable. We need more love for African wild dogs. They're so cute. Pink Ocean asks, least favorite side character or characters? I don't like Riptide, for sure. I know I say that a lot, but I really don't like Riptide. Deathbringer can be a little bit annoying at times, but my least favorite side character in general would probably be Riptide, and favorite would be Lynx. Friends, Family, and Paws asked, do you have graphic novel 6? No, it has not come out yet. It's coming out right at the end of December, so I'm unfortunately not been able to obtain it. I don't think TUI gives out early copies or anything to like YouTubers or anything like that, but that would be really cool. Goodbye, someone. Thank you for stopping by. Candy asks, Kool-Aid or Capri Suns? Kool-Aid. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Capri Suns. I don't know why I said that. Capri Suns, I love the flavors for that so much. I could literally drink some Capri Suns right now, and I would absolutely love it. Now you guys are making me very thirsty. Thanks. Who is the worst character ever in Wings of Fire? Stingray the Seeming asks. The worst character in Wings of Fire? Maybe, like, Whirlpool, I guess? Whirlpool or Hawthorne or someone like that, I guess, just for wasted opportunities. But probably Whirlpool, just for being horrible. Yes, book 6 is going to be amazing graphic novel form. I'm honestly really excited to see a lot of cool designs, a lot of awesome moments. Escaping Peril is going to be super cool, and I really hope they do the beach scene justice in Talons of Power. Capri Suns are top tier, they really are. But strawberry kiwi, that's like the worst flavor. That's like the one I will not eat. I like the Pacific Cooler. Pacific Cooler, yes, that is just perfect. I can't even explain how much I love it. You hate Chameleon? Chameleon's like one of my favorite Wings of Fire characters. That's so sad. I mean, I hate what they did with him after Escaping Peril. I think that was pretty dumb. I think he should have gotten a redemption, especially because Glory would have welcomed him back into the kingdom after everything that happened. I wanted some kind of an update on Chameleon. I didn't want him to turn back to his old ways. Just some kind of way of helping Peril out once before he left. It could have been even the smallest thing the story was slightly changing, and we could have gotten a line in a future book of some Rain Wings kind of talking about it and being like, oh hey, did you hear about that one dragon with like the snout disorder that was banished all those years ago and got welcomed back into the kingdom? He's been doing pretty well. That would have been nice to see. I really wanted a Chameleon redemption. Also a Fierce Teeth one. Are you a How to Train Your Dragon fan? I have watched the first movie, but I have not gone any further than that, I'm afraid. It was actually pretty good. I was expecting it, not gonna lie, to be pretty bad. I was expecting it to be kind of mid, but I really did like the first movie. I've just been kind of stalling on watching the second, and all the other content comes after that. Livy Animations, my pronouns are she, her. If you could erase an arc, which one? Cyber asks. Arc 3. 100% Arc 3. But I would also change the ending to Arc 2 a little bit, so it doesn't give all these different perspectives and all that. But definitely Arc 3, 100%. You're welcome, Twinto. I love doing live streams with you guys. Always fun to talk to people, answer some questions. I mean, I honestly have. Wings of Fire community is such a great one, especially on YouTube. Everyone's so nice. You guys have some amazing questions as well that really get me thinking. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. I don't know if you're talking to someone else, but that's not my birthday. I thought that would be pretty cool if it was. Opinion on Snowfall. Snowfall's Ring asks. I thought it said Snowfall Rising for a second. Snowfall is one of my... She's my second favorite character. No, or maybe third. Well, I just know I like Peril, Bumblebee, Snowfall, and Turtle. So, Snowfall's one of my favorite characters. I really loved her and her development. I said this earlier, but we could just talk about Dangerous Gift for hours. Even though it's not even my favorite book in the series. It's like my second favorite. Escaping Peril is my favorite, but I won't bother you guys. I do really like Moon Rising, though. I think that's a really good point. I was really nervous. I'm not a fan of change. And after I finished Arc 1, I was so worried for the next arc. I was like, whoa, I just grew to love all the different dragonettes of Destiny, you know. And I was actually pretty worried, but Arc 2 blew my expectations away. Any non-canon ships you thought of or wish came true? Nova Mythic 8 asks. I get a lot of people ask me, like, oh, what are your favorite, like, headcanon ships or, like, non-canon ships? And to be honest, I'm more of a canon shipper. I don't really ship anything outside of canon. There's certain characters I think shouldn't end up with anyone, and some that I just don't really care for. So, I don't think there's anyone in particular that didn't get together that I wanted to. So, I get the question a lot, and I never really had an answer. I guess I really stick towards the canon ships when I do ship anything. Oh, happy birthday to your little brother, Milky Way Blue Jay. Hope he has an amazing rest of his day. Zero Drago asks, least favorite and favorite tribe. My favorite tribes are Sandwings, and my least favorite would probably be Silkwings. Silkwings or Leafwings. Either one. Do you think there should be an Arc 4? Depending on what it's about, Andrew Norton, yes, but also no. If it's about the next generation of dragonettes, then yes, 100%. But if it's about something else, then probably no. If it's about different dragon-human relations, then no. But if it's about next generation dragonettes, totally. I've done a whole video about what I would want to see from that, and you guys might want to check it out. Do you have any pets? I have one hermit crab, but nothing other than that. Although I have always wanted a dog. We just can't get some. We can't get one because of family allergies and stuff. So would you like a Guide to the Dragon World? Yes. Okay, as soon as a Guide to the Dragon World comes out, I am going straight to the store and I am buying it. I don't even care how much it costs. I am gonna buy Guide to Dragon World immediately. I'm so excited to see all the different art of the queens, all the different information on tribes, and I found it out like right after I posted the video talking about the Wings of Fire Netflix show and all the different news we've been getting surrounding Wings of Fire, that the story that Kinkajou wrote is going to be an assignment. Some fans actually got to hear this ahead of time and wrote down kind of what happened in the story. It's going to be an assignment that Kinkajou's writing for Jade Mountain Academy, and it's going to involve Silver the Sloth and all this fun stuff. I've read a little bit of what people have wrote about it, so it actually is pretty interesting. Are you excited for arc 3 quadrillion? I hope this does not end up like Warrior Cats. I don't want 50 books. I really don't want 50 books. Warrior Cats has turned me away because of that and several other things, so yeah, I hope there's not a million arcs. Hypoallergenic dogs don't always work, Stingray, because of the saliva. Some people are allergic to the saliva and not the hair. So, hypoallergenic dogs do not always work, necessarily. Levy Animations asks, what's your advice for small channels? Get with the community, interact with fans, other YouTubers, stuff like that. Keep a consistent upload schedule as much as you can, so people know when to expect content. Would you guys ever be interested in me making a tutorial about how to be a Wings of Fire YouTuber? I've seen a lot of people ask me for advice, and I think I could put everything together in a video nicely, so if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in chat. I might be able to get around to that, actually. Seems like a pretty interesting topic for a video. What do you think of the X-Queens? Like Scarlet, I absolutely love. I love all the X-Queens. Like, you mean the ones that have died, in general? Or the ones that were, kind of during the story? I mean, I love all the queens, really, besides, Coral. Even the X-Queens are pretty fun to read about. If you were to kill off one of the Wings of Fire characters, which one would it be? Someone that, just in general, like Whirlpool, but someone that's still alive? I assume that's what you mean. I'm not quite sure. Maybe, no, Peacemaker doesn't have a chance of turning back into Darkstalker. So I'm not really sure. Maybe, no, Cottonmouth's dead. Wasp. Yes, Wasp is still alive, and I want her dead. I do not like Wasp. Easily kill off Wasp. For anyone that's still alive, yeah. Let's see. If Keebly died, what would you do? I would cry, because Moonwatcher would be very sad, and Jade Mountain Archive would be very sad. I think that's a really depressing combo. Let's see. Who's your favorite villain? Queen Scarlet. The Wings of Fire has some amazing villains. I like Scarlet, Chameleon, mostly everyone. There are a couple that are just like Vulture, but there are some I really liked. No, Coral's not dead. She's still alive, which can be a little bit of a sad thing, considering how cruel she's been as a queen, but I hope she learns from her ways. What hybrid dragon would you love to say, or what hybrid do you think would look the prettiest? I think you mean C. Which one would be the prettiest? Like, the prettiest combo? Maybe, a Silkwing Icewing would be pretty, if for, different blue and, really icy-looking white. I think that would look cool. Or maybe, a Leafwing Rainwing. I don't know. Maybe a Skywing Silkwing. For huge wings, but still the 4. I'd really like that. No, Silkwings have 2 wings. What do you want for Christmas? Anything like Stranger Things, I guess. You have turned into my mother. What's the best book? Jisleen asks. The best book is Escaping Peril. So my list would go Escaping Peril, and then Moon Rising and The Dangerous Gift are pretty, even. Those are tied for 2 and 3. I can't really pick a favorite out of those, but I do know Escaping Peril is 100% the best book. The scene where Scarlet was announcing her arrival to, the Dragonet nursery was the funniest thing in the world. I literally could not stop laughing. And just seeing Turtle and Peril's interactions, Scarlet and Chameleon, literally, that book had everything. I absolutely have fallen in love with it, so. I want to just skip the rest of Wings of Fire and just reread that one book instead. Thank you for subscribing, Sophie. I really do appreciate it. My channel has been growing a lot lately, and I only have you guys to thank. Looking back up at the poll, we have 271 votes Mac and cheese is at 37%, quite low, and pizza's at 63%. I'm very sad, but I can understand why pizza might be voted a little bit higher. Are there more doors or wheels? Wheels! Why is this even a debate? Because every car in the world and every kind of vehicle that moves has wheels. Even small, even toy cars have wheels. It's wheels. Why do people think it could ever be doors? Like, not every house in the world has doors. Like, it's crazy to me. Why is that even a debate? It's like the debate on, when you put on your socks. Like, some people do, sock, which is what I do, and then shoe. Like, why is it a debate? That some people do sock, shoe. Just put on your socks first and put on your shoes. Stuff like this really gets me. Really gets me going. Cars have doors. Yeah, but they only have 2. Well, no, they have 4. I'm dumb. Oh my goodness, I'm dumb. But then there's so many other things that have wheels compared to doors. Because there's more, wheels were invented. Well, I can't say wheels were invented before doors. I don't know that. I can't say that. But it's just there's more. Because, on anything you can think of, like a toy car, kids' toys, carriages, everything just has 4 wheels. That's more than just, a house that might be, a one-room house that has 1 door. It's just, if you do the math, it would definitely be wheels. Just trust me on that one. Have you heard of 4Arcane, the YouTuber? Yes, I really do like her videos. I love her art style, too. 4Arcane is very cool. I watch, a lot of people ask me, oh, have you heard of such and such YouTuber? I know every Wings of Fire YouTuber in the fandom. And you might think that's an exaggeration. Not, personally. But, I watch all of them. Literally, I'm subscribed to every single Wings of Fire YouTuber out there. For all, the well-known ones. I know all of them, and I'm a huge fan of literally all of them, which is crazy. But I love every YouTuber in the fandom. There's not a single one I even dislike. And they're all super nice, too. The ones I've gotten to interact with as well. If you could give any dragon in Wings of Fire animus magic, who would it be? I don't know if there's anyone that necessarily, would do 100% good with it. Because really it can corrupt anyone, like I've talked about before. That's hard. I might have to come back to you on that one. I don't know if I can necessarily provide an answer for which character I would give it to. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Sunny, even if you were to give it to someone as innocent as Sunny, she would try and do good, but it'd end up becoming bad, similar to Darkstalker. But her goals wouldn't be as big, but anyone can really mess up with that kind of power, and it could cause bad things. Yes, I know Lamppost too. Trust me when I say I know everyone. List a name, and I am subscribed. Oh, goodbye, Annabella. Thank you for coming to the stream. I really appreciate you and all your amazing questions. What do you think of filler books? Filler books in the series or in general? In the series, they can be pretty annoying. Most of Arc 3, in my opinion, was filler. We just take 2 long breaks from the main story and never really get quite back into it. So they can be a little bit of a letdown, especially if people have been waiting so long for a new book, just in general. Although there are not many books I can think of that are necessarily filler books. So it's easy to do a filler episode in a show, but not a filler novel. Even for a big series, it's kind of hard to get to that point. Because you're writing an entire book, which can take several months. Luna the Goat? Luna's okay. She's mid. I mean, I liked her before her book, and I liked her in the beginning of her book. But I didn't really like the whole depressed Luna. That was pretty annoying. I mean, I didn't really care for her much throughout her book. She just didn't really do anything. If you were to ally yourself with a villain, who would you ally with? Ooh, I really like that. That's hard. Well, allying with someone like Byrne would be, not a good choice. Because she even tried to abuse, Six Claws, too. She even didn't care for him, even though he was super loyal to her. So, choosing someone like that that's cruel wouldn't be a good option. Man, I really cannot think. Because there's some people, I'd want to get on their good side, but just, supporting a villain? I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. Yes, my Discord is Moon8000. There's a link to it in all my video descriptions, except this one with a link to my Discord server, so you can join that after the stream. What do you think would happen if the Ice Wings died of the sickness? If all of them, like if it wiped out the whole tribe? That's interesting. There would still be Ice Wing blood out there from hybrids, but there wouldn't be much, and eventually be bred out of existence with no purebloods to breed it with. So, I mean, that would be pretty heartbreaking. There would be no, the Silk Wings and stuff wouldn't be able to fly to the Ice Kingdom. They wouldn't have anyone, like, any place to go, and would welcome them into Pyra and hide out. So, that'd be pretty hard. Yeah, wow, that would affect the story a lot, actually. At the beginning of book 1, who did you think would win the Salmon War? Augustus Rother asks. I was actually I didn't know, to be honest. I was thinking about it a lot, who I thought would win and who I wanted to win. But I don't know if I ever really thought of one specifically that I thought would win. I mean, I probably saw spoilers, because throughout Wings of Fire I was watching animations and maps, and I saw a lot of spoilers, which is pretty disappointing, but, I mean, I kind of got myself into that. But out of who I thought would win, I might have thought probably, like, Burn, to be honest. Burn was my favorite for a time, but now it's been Blaze. Wouldn't Winter be alive because he has the earring? Yeah, that's true, right? I think he would be alive. Yeah, anyone with the earring would be alive, but it said if everyone died, so it wouldn't be like Animus magic excluded, everyone just straight up dies. I mean, having a whole tribe taken off the map would be pretty devastating. Do you like Fate Speaker? Let's see. Fate Speaker's okay. I don't hate her, but like during the book, I didn't care for her as much, but I've grown to like care for her a little bit more. I do feel a little bit bad for her, especially with how False Knights of Destiny treated her. I wouldn't necessarily say she's a favorite, but I mean, she's just I don't have much of an opinion on her. What's your favorite chip? Cloud Plays asks. And hello, by the way. My favorite ship is Moonblee. I've said this before, but it's the healthiest ship in all of Wings of Fire. They're just so adorable together, and I don't think there's anything better. Yes, Exilot of the Sea Wing, I do recognize you. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you could live on in Wings of Fire, in one Wings of Fire character's life for a day, who would you live as? You'd want to be Peril to see what it's like to live like her. That's interesting. I've never seen anyone who'd want to be Peril. I wouldn't want to be a queen for sure. Well, queen for like a day would be nice. You wouldn't have to handle like long-term politics. You could just kind of do whatever you wanted. So maybe being like queen of the Ice Wings where everyone respects you. Maybe being Snowfall for a day. Well, like minus all the stressful politics. Because you'd only be stuck as them for one day. So, I think that'd be pretty cool. Probably like Snowfall, I guess. Or no, an Animus Dragon would also be nice. Maybe someone like Turtle too. Like Animus Magic and Royalty. Even though the seeming princes aren't that respected. Fork or spoon? I like forks, I guess. Like, if I had to just live with one, it'd be forks. Because you can just drink your soup. So, like, spoons aren't that necessary. You could live without spoons. So I'd go with forks. Because there are some things you need to, like, stab with your fork. So, who's your favorite Silkwing? I love Io, Tao, I don't know how to pronounce it. She was part of the Chrysalis. There are a couple Silkwings I really like, and a couple Hivewings that I really liked as well. Hivewings are a pretty interesting tribe. I would love to hear more about them. Which kingdom of Pyra would you live in? Snickadraws asks. Which kingdom? The one I think would... No, I wouldn't want to live in the Salmon Kingdom, because there's too much crime there. Maybe the Skywing Kingdom for the sense of freedom. That'd be really nice, living near the clouds, up in the high mountains, all the, treasure. That would be cool, living in the Skywing Kingdom. So I'd probably go with that. There aren't a lot of great kingdoms necessarily to live in. I think that would have a lot of things to do. I used to not like the Skywings, but I've come to respect them more, to be honest. Katydid's a very interesting character, Stingray. What's my favorite song? Oh, I like a lot of songs. I don't have like even a favorite artist or anything. I just listen to whatever. Dum Dum by Maisie is a good song. I really like that one. Probably seen a lot of animations. Thoughts on Sora, Ocean Vibe asks. I've done a whole analysis on why I think Icicle shouldn't be villainized. I think it really should be Sora. But Sora I'm really conflicted on, to be honest. Like, She's such an interesting and complex character. I don't know if I can necessarily form an opinion on her. I do think that it was pretty wrong of her to try and kill Icicle. I really think something should have been done about that. There are way better ways things should have gone about and ended up leading to the deaths of several dragons, so. Let's see. Can you find me on Discord? You can always join my server. Chat with me on there. What if Thorn and Cobra were sisters? Ooh. That'd be, I actually like that, okay? I like that a lot more, if I'm going to say that. Keebly Winterstar, I like your idea a lot more than the canon. That would have been a lot more interesting, and would have given more of a reason for Cobra to hate Thorn, rather than her just taking Keebly and adopting him instead. And that would have been a nicer dynamic if they were sisters. They easily could have explored that more. So I really like that. I think that'd be way better than what we actually got in the story, to be honest. Never really thought about it that way. Some kind of familial connection would be pretty interesting. What's my opinion on beans? Bean Soup asks. Well, I know you certainly like beans. I'm sorry I'm gonna break your heart with this, but beans are horrible. I do not like them. They taste weird in your mouth, and they have an odd taste. I'm not a bean fan. I'm sorry. Pillows or blankets? Blankets. I could sleep without a pillow as long as I have blankets. Like, I don't understand that. I easily blankets. What's the best Wings of Fire arc in your opinion? Tezzy asks. I really like Arc 2, honestly. Arc 2 had the best conflicts, the best villains, the best protagonists, the best overall story, even though there's some aspects of it I didn't like the end of Darkness of Dragons, the majority of Darkness of Dragons, really. But I would say my ranking would go 2, 1, 3. What if Tui made Starflight an animus? That'd be an interesting choice. I'm glad he wasn't. I'm glad Starflight didn't have any powers, although I did get why he didn't have powers spoiled. I was playing Wings of Fire Roblox, and I was role-playing, and I had this Mary Sue Nightwing. This is right when I started reading the series. I was on book 1, hadn't even finished book 1, and I was playing the game. And my bio for the Nightwing, it said, has all powers. And I just started playing around the game, and I started role-playing with someone. They were like, you do realize that Nightwings can't have all powers, right? And then they told me about the whole moon thing, and I was like, I at least specified for them at the start of the role-playing, no spoilers, 'cause I'm only on the middle of book 1, and they spoiled, like, almost all of arc 1 for me, which is very sad. I didn't get to figure out the whole Starflight thing naturally, but I was very confused, and I thought Nightwings probably developed powers later on. Who's your favorite dragon in the first arc? Protagonist? Definitely Sunny. Oh my goodness, the brightest night totally blew my expectations. During book 1, I did not like Sunny, but by the end, she was my favorite dragon out of Destiny. Easily. What would you do if you had animus magic? Parushan says. I don't know if I'd trust myself to do good with it, but I would immediately just cast a bunch of amazing spells and then stop myself from using it again. Unless I could find some loophole around the corruption. Like maybe like giving food to everyone in the world. Things like that. Make the world a lot better of a place. Yeah, Sunny's POV was absolutely amazing. I really love that. I love the story of it too, of her finally proving herself to everyone. I am pretty mad at Dragons of Destiny for how they treated her, so she really got to prove herself as a hero. Do you prefer writing or drawing? Writing 100%. I wish I was an artist, but I am a writer, so writing is pretty fun. You can craft your own stories, too. I just love that creativity of it. We're going to end the stream here in a couple minutes. Maybe like 4 minutes or so, so ask your final questions here. What do you think about Keebly times Sunny? I don't ship it. I mean, they've interacted, like, very briefly. I'm not a huge fan of it. I prefer more canon ships. Like actual ones in the series. Racing World Hunger would probably destroy your soul. I don't necessarily know about that. I mean, everyone would still die eventually, so. Do you think it was a little unfair to Starflight that they blinded him? I mean, Starflight still got to prove that he can do a lot, and with that, it's also come a new understanding for him as well. And he's been working on a bunch of things like adding Braille for different dragon scrolls, which is very cool. He's become a really interesting character, actually, after that. Even though he hasn't been in the series much, I do really still like Starflight. Would you rather be Animus, but can only cast 3 spells, Mind Reader, or Prophet. Definitely not a Mind Reader because you can't turn it off. Doing Prophecy would be a little bit stressful, and your visions could just come out of nowhere, so I guess Animus with 3 spells. Only 3, just kind of like a genie with 3 wishes. I would just cast 3 spells, and that would be it. No full-on soul corruption, which would be nice, and you get a bask in the power of Animus magic, so that's actually pretty cool. Turtle got his Animus powers back, but could only use it once. What would you want him to use it on? During the story, some way to just get rid of the other mind completely. But in modern day, maybe just construct the leaf silk kingdom just instantly, like to the point where all the trees would grow back and everything. That would be pretty cool. Good way to use his powers for good. Yes, the stream will still be up after it ends. About 2 more minutes left, so I'm going to end things off. So send in your final questions. I have posted in my community tab some information regarding a backup needed for my map that can help collab with 2 other people. So if you're interested, check that out. I'm looking for an artist to help out with that. Opinions on Finland. Vero is from Finland. I've never been. I don't really know much about Finland, but I'd love to learn more. If Pearl and Turtle became a ship, what would you think? Interesting question. Well, I do see them as a friendship. I think it could have a little bit of potential as a ship, maybe. But I really only see them as friends, and I doubt Tui would do that. Especially with Pearl's whole obsession with clay, and how she's trying to learn to control herself with that. 1 hour stream. Well, I see a lot of people do pretty big streams. My max is usually like an hour. I think I've not really done more than that, to be honest. I might have to look back. What fandoms are you in that aren't Wings of Fire? Amber Eclipse asks. I like Stranger Things, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Enola Holmes, Marvel, anything Spider-Man or Spider-Man PS4, really. I love a lot of things that aren't Wings of Fire, too. My obsessions just range from totally different things that are unrelated, like, completely. But I do love Wings of Fire, but I also love some of that other stuff. Opinions on Canada? Never been. Don't really have an opinion. A couple of my friends are from Canada, and they're all very cool, so I think Canada's really cool because of it. Produce some awesome people. Do you like baguettes? Yes, I do really, really love baguettes. Honestly. You should visit. No, you have to visit Finland. Well, maybe I will someday. Maybe I will. I'll have to think about that for sure. Tizzy asks, Albatross or Darkstalker? Darkstalker. Just because he's more complex of a character, but I really did love the scene with the Royal Singing Massacre. Alright. We besties. I love Strings and Enola Holmes. Yes. Pixie the Fox, we can be besties. I love both of those. They're amazing. Enola Holmes 2, best movie I've ever watched in my life. That's coming from a huge Marvel fan who's watched a lot of movies. Opinions on New York? I love New York City a lot. New York State's pretty cool as well. How did you create your character? I really like it. One of my best friends, Rainey, helped design Mala, my fox character, who's the mascot of my channel. Told her what I wanted for the design, and she made her, and I really loved her ever since. Alright, everybody. We're going to be ending up the stream here. Thank you all so much for coming, and thank you for 8,000 subscribers. Let's look at the poll results. Posted an hour ago, 358 votes. Mac and cheese is still sitting at 37%, and pizza is at 63%. I also would like to say one thing before we end the stream. Would you guys ever be interested in an art contest where I'll post, like, my character, and then I'll have a bunch of people send in their artwork? I kind of wonder, like, rule number 1, should it be of my Wings of Fire OC, like my main one, Mirage, or should it be of another Wings of Fire OC, or maybe my Fox character, Mala? Like, which one would you guys prefer for that? And I'll answer one final question. What would you do if you woke up in Wings of Fire? If I was a human, I would cry because I'd probably be eaten, depending on where I am in the story, but I mean, it'd be pretty fun to ride in a dragon. I'd get a dragon to be my best friend and learn dragon, but if I was a dragon, I'd find another dragon to be my best friend, or maybe even a human to ride on me. Okay, you guys really like the idea of doing an art contest. I will definitely consider that. You know, maybe you could say something about it next week. Maybe, if I go through with it. You'll have to wait and see. So, do you think it should be of, like, okay, Mirage, yeah, a lot of people saying Mirage, and that's probably understandable, because a lot of you guys are able to draw dragons. Thank you all so much for stopping by. It's been amazing to talk to all of you, live streams are just so much fun. I just get to talk with you guys about the most random things, like baguettes in Finland, but also get into some pretty interesting discussions about Wings of Fire. It's been an honor to get to talk to you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love all of you guys.